Now there's a steal by Bird. Underneath the DJ.
Pierce for three. It's good. Tatum puts up a three. Bang!
Welcome to the Celtics Rewind. I'm JP.
And I am Nat The GM. What's up, y'all?
Hey, Celtic fans. This is episode 20 of the Celtics Rewind, talking all things Boston Celtics. Can you feel the heat? You see what I did there on that right here. So I'm JP, the franchise, your host. I have my co-host with me, Nat The GM. Nat, what's going on? How you doing?
I'm feeling great. 1-0. Got a few more before we get to the second round. Then third round, then hopefully finals, y'all. This is our year.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, for sure. I'm feeling kind of disrespected a little bit, because we finally got the finalists of different NBA awards for the season, and no Celtic player or coach is on the ballot, unfortunately. So felt a little disrespectful. We had the best record in the regular season, but it's all good though. Like, we'll just have to win the championship just to tell all the haters we won. We got the championship. That's more important than these awards right here. So it is what it is, though. So, but so let's go ahead and get into the playoffs. The Boston Celtics faced the Miami Heat this past Sunday, and it was, what it was. It was a complete whooping. The Celtics gave to the Miami Heat 114-94, led by Jason Tatum's triple double with 23 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. What takeaways do you have from the Celtics victory over the Miami Heat in game one?
Number one, I thought that there was a lot of poise, especially with Jason Tatum. He shot 7 of 18 and he only shot 1 of 8. So he did not shoot the best, but as always, I say, what else can you do? And he did everything else. He was a really good defender. He rebounds the best. He's the best rebounder on the team. No one is a better rebounder than Jason Tatum on the team. And he was the facilitator. He is the best playmaker on the team as well. It just is what it is. So therefore, when you are a star player, 7 of 18, it really doesn't matter because there are other things you can do, to contribute to a win. And that's what Jason Tatum did. So he had a triple-double, 10 assists, 10 rebounds, 23 points, which if he had connected, if you kind of think about it, on maybe 4 of 8, from 3, this would be a bigger difference. Now you're talking about 32 points and a bigger blowout, So I just think that we stuck together. Jaylen Brown was off to a little bit of a slow start. I think that he sometimes struggles versus the Heat. I think he overthinks and he doesn't take what the defense is giving him. Porzingis was great. The only thing about Porzingis I would like to see is more rebounding. He only had 4 rebounds. If you're playing that 5 position, I need you to grab 8 plus. He should be the second leading rebounder, but instead, the second leading rebounder is Jaylen Brown. So your wings are your rebounders. Would like to see a little bit, more rebounding from KP. Might have been just the game, but we'll see, how that goes. Derek White turned it on, I believe, more towards the third and the fourth. He was 4 of 8 from 3, and Porzingis was KP was 4 of 8 from 3. Jaylen Brown was 3 of 5 from 3, and Jrue Holiday was 2 of 4. So as a team collectively, they shot excellent from 3, and that's even with all the misses from Jason Tatum. Hauser 4 of 6 from 3, Horford 2 of 5, and Pritchard 2 of 5. Everyone hit a 3 that played, and they went 8 deep. So we know on this championship run, they're going to play Pritchard, Horford, and Hauser off the bench. And I'm very comfortable so far with this because they scored about 30 points, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 30 points. They gave you 7 boards, 4 boards for Pritchard, 1 board for Hauser, and 5 assists for Pritchard. So this is fantastic production from a team that's aspiring to be a champion. So this was a great, great game for the Boston Celtics.
I agree with you 100%. It was a great game for the Boston Celtics. I love the fact that at the beginning of the game, they got Porzingis started. They got him off to a really good start and got him more involved, which I really love because I said that for my keys to victory on HoopSpaces on Watch Playback. I said one of the things the Celtics need to do is go ahead and get Porzingis involved really early, and that's what they did and did a great job with it. It kind of opened up everybody else on the floor too as well. Like you said, everybody hit a 3-point shot as well. I love the fact that even if Jaylen Brown is struggling and stuff like that, like especially when they came out at halftime, I love the fact they started trying to get him involved early, get Jaylen Brown to score early and stuff, just so that he's not like left out in the rotation or anything. So I love the game plan heading to it and all that. I know it's unfortunate, because Jimmy Butler is not on the other side. So, who knows if it would have been a different game if he was playing and stuff like that. What did you think about the Caleb Martin foul on Jason Tatum? Because, you hear a lot of different stories Jaylen Brown pushed Caleb Martin to Jason Tatum. Caleb Martin actually on purpose hit Jason Tatum or cut him down. What's your thoughts or overall reaction of that foul by Caleb Martin?
I think that when it comes to this, you kind of got to move on from it and just be happy that Jason Tatum is not hurt. And let's just say, if there was no harm, meant by Caleb Martin, okay, move on. Even if there was harm meant, this should be a fire underneath Boston. You shouldn't need any more fire, but you should just kind of take this in stride and get physical, rough them up. This is always going to be a physical series with these two teams. This is what they've built over the years, not just the past 4 or 5 years. They've built this for a very long time, together. So there's just a big history with Boston versus Miami. Take this current Celtics team, and once you hit game 2 tomorrow, the rest of the way as well, you should just be super physical. Everything you do, Al Horford come in and be super physical. There should be a lot more dunks in this series. There's not enough dunking for me in this series at all. Jason Tatum, love the layups and everything. It's nice when especially when they obviously go in. I need to see some dunks from him and Jaylen Brown. I need you to make them understand that this is not last year. This is not what that is. Take control of these games. You guys got to understand that you got to keep your toughness. You got to make sure you play great defense. Don't let a lot of these young guys get confidence, but you got to seal it and move on, and that's what I'm hoping that Boston has learned. Seal it and move on. You're now in the process of on your way to win a championship, and you have a long way to go. This is a long 2 months, before you get to the finals. You got some people in your way. Miami is in your way, so if they are wasting your time, show them they're wasting your time and actually put them away. So that's what I think about it. It should just be fire. So I should see 30 points from Jason Tatum, the next 3 games. I should see 25 from Brown, and I should see them play physical. I would play Brissett, to be honest with you. I think that kid is full of toughness. I think he's great. I would honestly play him. There's no way I wouldn't play him and Tillman. Those are the only two that I would actually play for to make sure that the toughness does not leave when the guys sit down. Tillman and Brissett. They are going to rough you up. They are going to grab rebounds. They're going to finish around the basket. They're going to get in your face. They're going to give you energy. So That's what I want to see. I don't give a damn as long as Tatum was okay. It better not happen again, though.
No, I know, right? Hopefully it doesn't happen again and all that, Um, what I thought about that one, I didn't really react to it and was just like, oh, why Caleb Martin did that, I think it was probably just out of frustration because they was getting beat pretty badly by the Celtics and, they
Mhm.
was just trying to see what like the next move is and stuff and see who's going to jump and all that. And you see
Right.
Jalen Brown was like, yo, like I'm healed, like, what you want to do about it, Caleb Martin and all
Right.
that. So um
He stepped up.
so th- yeah, just step up, yeah, and hopefully those fire. And I seen, in game one that there were like times where they kind of let off the gas a little bit and stuff, and Miami had like an incredible fourth quarter. I want them to not let the foot off the gas. I want to look. The Miami Heat put them out of the playoffs last year in the worst way
Mhm.
possible because everyone expected Boston to make the finals last year based on their team and the way Miami put them out. You should not let the foot off the gas. You should just keep the foot on. You got to you got to keep having the fire. You got to stay consistent. You just got to do whatever it takes. You just got to whoop their behinds any game, every single game, sweep them, whatever. Just do what it takes because they took you out last year. This is supposed to be your revenge tour. This is supposed to be your revenge. And speaking of the next game, game two is going to be tomorrow night at 7 p.m. on TNT, Boston and Miami. What is your expectations of what the Celtics need to do to win game two against Miami? Because knowing Eric Spoelstra, knowing no Jimmy throughout the whole series, knowing Eric Spoelstra, he's going to make different adjustments for or different looks for Boston to see. So, what's your expectations for Boston in Game Two?
Um, my expectations that they win and they go up 2-0 heading to Miami. Hopefully they can finish it out 3-4. When it comes to this series, Eric Spoelstra is obviously a phenomenal coach. I think that he's going to adjust the 3-point shooting and probably do a lot more man um, this game. Less zone, way more man. And it's gonna require some screens to be set, a lot of one-on-one, and they're gonna have to win those matchups. I want to see also if he is ballsy enough to put Bam on Tatum, um, and see how that looks. It might leave KP way more open, to basically just do something in the paint and give him a lot more freedom to score, a lot more freedom to hit the open man if they double him, but also he's bigger than everybody else, he should just kind of be able to just shoot right over them, take a good shot. When it comes to Boston, I don't think that they'll hit as many threes. They could still be hot from three, but it could be a lot more mid range this time around. I'm actually okay with Tatum going 1 of 8. He doesn't often go 1 of 8. Usually he'll make about 3 or 4 threes a game. So I anticipate him having a better scoring output and Jalen Brown having a better scoring output. Maybe some other guys will cool down, but I think that they'll start, winning their one-on-one matchups. I think this will be a closer win by maybe like 10 or 11. And I think it could possibly be like a 115, 103 or 104, something like that. Boston still wins convincingly, but we have to remember Miami is just not a slouch team. They still have Bam. I'm very fond of Bam. I think he's very good. Um, he's going to probably still be aggressive. That's their best bet. They are going to get off a lot more threes. Kevin Love is going to hit threes. He's going to take them. He is a high percentage shooter at the three. You got to watch out for that, You're going to see Duncan Robinson is going to get more minutes because usually he has a really good series versus Boston. He's in a good game versus Boston. He's probably going to play more. So you got to get him involved as well if you're Eric Spoelstra. So these are the guys that you got to watch out for. Jovic, You got to watch out for him. He's a very good young player. They tidy down on that and make them second guess and overpass and take bad shots. This will be the formula going forward, because then there's not much that they can do after that to adjust. So that's kind of how I see game 2 going. Tomorrow.
No, those are great points. I was thinking the same thing too as well. Key thing for me is rebounding. If the game 1 they out rebounded the Miami Heat 44 to like 33. Game
Mhm.
2 I expect them to out rebound the Miami Heat, because if you let the Miami Heat out rebound you, it's going to be a lot closer of a game and stuff. We seen in game 1 that the Miami Heat took care of points in the paint. They had more points in the paint than us. Luckily, we was hitting our threes and was shooting really well from free throw too as well. So if that's not going to be the case for tomorrow night, we have to definitely win the points in the paint battle if if we don't shoot well from the 3-point line.
Mhm.
So I do expect a win tomorrow, but it's going to be a dogfight. I think tomorrow. I think the Miami Heat is not going to lay down. I think they're going to get more motivated because game 1 was just pretty much a blowout. So expect this Miami Heat team to bounce back and be able to like get aggressive scoring. They might take a couple of leads in the game, but Boston will go as poised as they are and how great they are and how healthy they are. They should win this game by like 10, 15 points. But like I said, Boston always beat themselves, and
Mhm.
they might end up being close and might win by like 3 or 5 points. So we just have to wait and see. So
Mhm.
hopefully we'll see that in game 2. Speaking of like the other teams in the playoffs, I know you were saying
Mhm.
that you was paying attention to what the Cleveland Cavaliers are doing and also the Philadelphia 76ers. Would you like to
Mhm.
elaborate more on like what why you're paying attention to those teams?
Tough loss for Philly. Last night, very, very tough loss. They should have won that game. I find I have to throw a slight jab in there. You kind of get rid of Doc Rivers and you're still down 0-2 in a series. So
Right, right.
I guess it's not all Doc. When it comes to Philly, I think that they can still win that series.
Hmm.
Um, if they win both home games, it just takes one, go one at a time. But
Yep.
there's some things that they do that they have a really good matchup and they look really good, So no one can stop Embiid, but you got to
Yeah.
stop the others too when it
Hmm.
comes to New York. And the two big men, they're working and it's working for the Knicks.
Yep.
They're constantly active around the basket. They're doing their best against Embiid, making it tough for him. He's not necessarily the most
Yep.
efficient that he usually is, because they're making it tough
Yep.
on him. So this is going to have to be, by committee. They absolutely have to get Kelly Oubre involved in the scoring. They have to give him a lot of shots.
Yes.
It can't just be
Yes.
the
Yes.
Tyrese Maxey and Embiid show. Specifically, Oubre has to get going,
Yes.
because Tobias Harris, I feel, has to do a lot more defensively and grabbing offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds. I think that asking him to score as well is too much. I think that Oubre needs more, scoring. Needs more assists as far as getting him the ball, getting him his shots, making sure that he can at least get you 15 to 17 points. If Oubre averages 15 to 17 points, it's a different series. So you got to figure it out, Nick. Nick Nurse has got to figure it out, or you're going to go down 0-3 or 3-1, and you don't want that. So I'm looking to see what it is, because the winner of that series will go on to face either Indiana or Milwaukee. Milwaukee was solid. They won that game. If Halliburton is not going to show up, it's not a series. If Halliburton
Yep.
is,
Yep.
is not going to perform, then you're looking at a Milwaukee in 5 or 6
Yeah. Yep.
victory. And if Milwaukee and New York, or Milwaukee and Philly, meet, that is a hell of a series, because those two teams are going to go at it. I think New York is playing great right now. They got great momentum. Milwaukee looked good. Chris Middleton looked good. Dame finally, was able to burst out and
Came
have a
out.
good outing.
Hmm.
You know, Bobby Portis, love him. He's very consistent. The team was just very good that first game. Let's see how they look and they keep it up. You know, if Chris Middleton can give you this production for the rest of the playoffs, and if Dame is actually locked in and can give you the same offensive output. But right now, I still like Boston's chances versus any of those teams.
I agree with you 100%. I haven't really paid much attention to the Cleveland series, but I know Cleveland's up 2 games to 0 because the Orlando Magic's not really a great offensive scoring type of
They're
team because
very
they only,
young.
yeah, very young. They're very inexperienced, and Cleveland knows how to get it done, leading with Mitchell and Garland. And if Jared Allen plays really well, the Cleveland
Mm-hmm.
Cavaliers be playing really well too as well. So, that's what Boston's going to be facing in the next round is going to be against that Cleveland team. I agree with you about Philadelphia. Philadelphia should have won like both of those games. I feel like that first game when they sat Embiid down in that second quarter, that momentum changed everything, and they had to play pretty much catch up. And then Embiid was worried a little bit on his knee, but he was trying to do everything he could, but he couldn't get his lift up. He couldn't really jump or anything because he injured. His knee was still like not like healthy. 65% Embiid is better than what you
It
get,
was
but
tough. It was
it
tough.
it was really
Tough to
tough.
watch.
It was tough to watch. They should, and like you said, they should have won the game last night, and they just kind of fumbled the bag. And DiVincenzo hit that three and got them up off of an offensive rebound for Hartenstein. And
Mm-hmm.
you can't really blame the officials. If you're the 76ers, you got to blame yourselves for that because you cannot let an offensive rebound dictate. We seen that in 2013 when Ray Allen hit that shot against the Spurs, and then they should
Mm-hmm.
have called timeout, even though he was trying to, but he should have called timeout right when Jalen Brunson hit the three and get like a game plan together, and then you could take it in the middle of the court instead of taking it from the whole court. So Philly just kind of beating themselves at this point. And then, with the Milwaukee series, I was very shocked of how well Milwaukee played defensively. Like, because they're not a great defensive team on the perimeter, but they played really well. They gave Halliburton nightmares in game one, and they're playing
They
tonight.
did.
So hopefully we'll see a different Pacers team. Hopefully Halliburton shows up because that was not the best Halliburton performance. Like you said, if Halliburton shows up for the Pacers, they have a legitimate chance to go to the next round. But if Damian Lillard, like he did in game one, just going crazy for 35 points, and he does the same thing here tonight, and you got Bobby Portis playing really well, Middleton playing pretty well
Mm-hmm.
without Giannis on the floor. Yeah, that Milwaukee team is going to be hard to beat, but we've seen it before. When Doc Rivers goes up 3 games to 1, it's not a good record because he gets beat by the teams he should have won. So hopefully it doesn't happen like that, so that we could see the Bucks go against. It's probably going to end up being the Knicks because the 76ers record of going 0-2 is really not good. They never really won a series when they're down 0-2. So we'll just have to wait and see. But like you said, I like Boston over everybody in that Eastern
Mm-hmm.
Conference to go to the finals. Because like I said, if the only way Boston gets beat is if they beat themselves.
That's the
Um,
only way if they beat
it
themselves.
That's the only way. So this was episode 20 of the Celtics Rewind. Can you feel the heat by the Boston Celtics? And enjoy game 2 tomorrow night. It's going to be fantastic, and hopefully the Celtics win game 2. Hopefully it'll be a sweep. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I'm JP the franchise. That's Nat the GM, and we'll see y'all later. Peace, y'all.
Later.